Alright, so we are back quite a few hours later after making the video of the Craftsman 53924. Why is that? Well, remember when I said that the 3585 was working? Well, turns out it wasn't quite working like I thought it was. Well, it is now, but it says this thing was actually sitting in the rain. It rained yesterday, so it was a little wet, and I took the case off of it, let it sit for like 4 or 5 hours maybe, let it dry out, and then I, let it air dry, and then I got some paper towels, dried it out as much as I could. I plugged it in and ran it without the case, ran it a full cycle just fine. I bring it down here to set it up. Yeah, I started having some issues with it. First it wasn't working with remotes, then it thought there were no sensors hooked up, even though both sensors were lit up and working. It completely bypassed the down limit once, and just went to the very end of the limit thing. And then it got to the point where it was losing power randomly, and the lights were flickering, and it was just plain having a seizure. So yeah. Pretty much, I thought that this thing was completely dead. I was going to have to get a new board with it, but I let it sit for a while, and then I came back down later, decided, you know what, before I go out and try finding a board for it, let's try this one more time. Plugged it in, and it seems to be working fine now. So, and I guess I kind of just showed it. You guys are used to seeing an 880 LM up here. It says Chamberlain there. I put the B970 up here, and the 8557 has been repacked. Oh yeah, also that Blue Max case. There was a 8-foot, actually, Blue Max. I didn't take the whole opener, can't have one-piece rails, but it was the exact same thing as the GX9000, so what I'm going to do actually, instead of taking entire openers, I'm just going to take the case for it, and then I can switch it with the GX9000 case and have a Blue Max pretty much. Anyway, this B970 also was a little bit messed up. It ran. Actually, first of all, this has some play to it. I don't know why. I think this might have been actually running on a broken spring or something, I'm not sure. But, yeah, so this thing was, I ran it once with the case off, full cycle, it seemed to run fine. So I put the case back on and I brought it down here. I set it up, plugged it in, ran it, and it would run up just fine, and then as soon as it got to the down limit, it would, somehow the force would trip on it. So what I actually had to do is completely take apart the travel module and cleaned out, get all the crap out of there that somehow got in there. And this thing is working fine now. I have my cue set up on it. This one actually came with a battery backup, so I do have the battery installed in it, and that does work. This was made in 2018, like I said, so before Chamberlain went to crap. The 3585 was made in 2006. The 3585, I have a 98 LM hooked up because this is one of the older ones. As you can see, it first of all has the gold lettering here and on the back. So it would have had this and a 373W. So yeah, and then this one I obviously have this is the original button to this opener. I paired it to the 827 LM also, by the way. Original wall control. But I don't have, well, I have a 940 ESTD, but I didn't bother to bring that down. I just used the 877. And then over here for remotes, I'm using this as my main remote now, the Merrick remote, and then this 373 LM I'm using on the 3585. It's temperamental though. And then I'm also using a 377 LM, also temperamental. So I'll just run these a couple times for you. We'll do the 3585 first. Here we go. It's pretty quiet. So So it is pretty quiet. For some reason when it starts up the motor, it is a little bit louder. Don't know exactly why it does that, but yeah. So we'll run it down. That's a nice machine. Alright, we'll see if the remote wants to work, and if so, we'll run it with the remote. If not, then we'll not run it with the remote. There we go, just worked. And then we'll see if this wants to work. There we go. Program the second button on this to control the lights. And then we'll run it down with the keypad here, assuming it wants to work. There we go. So yeah, it is pretty quiet. This is basically the older version of the 8557W. Has the gear case in it and a dual capacitor. This one, I've been wanting a one of the older 3/4 horsepower machines for a while, so pretty happy to have this one. Alright, we will go ahead and give the B970 a run. This one's a little bit whiny, but it's not horrible. It's quieter than the 8550, so alright, we'll run it. So yeah, that does work. We'll run it back down. And I'll show you on the wall button here. This thing was used a lot. If we look at the cycle count, 11,000 cycles on it from an opener from 2018. So this thing was used pretty heavily. Alright, we will give you a battery backup test on this. I'll unplug it. And here we go. This is actually the reason I wanted this opener, is one with battery backup. We'll run it down. Alright, we'll plug this back in, and I will give you a MyQ demonstration. Alright, so I've got my MyQ app open. Let's run it. And back down. 827 flashes too. So, yeah, that's really it. That is B970, 3585, and also there's the Craftsman screwdriver again that I made a video on a little while ago. You know what, we'll give the 3585 one more run. Since we ran the B970 3 times, we can run this one a 3rd time, assuming this keypad wants to work. There you go. This thing is keeps working better every time I go to use it. How funny. Back down with the wall console, and that'll be it. There you go. And I do have the original sprocket cover for the B970 there, and for the 3585 right here. Oh yeah, also, on the note about these T-rail inner trolleys, the 3585 had the older style one like this with 2 holes in it. Oh yeah, and I also got a pair of these sensors that are actually what would have come with the 2026 over there. So next time I set that up, I'll have to try these and see if it Still does that weird sensor thing. Anyway, there you go. That is my 3585 and new Chamberlain B970. So thanks for watching. If you guys want to see either of these on full rails or doors, whatever, let me know. And we'll see you guys later.